Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm actually really excited to finally do this video. It's been about 7 months. It was my intention to immediately follow up with another video about my beliefs and where I'm at on this journey, on this spiritual journey. So I just want to say thanks for clicking in. I did read through some of those comments. Some were not as nice, but that is okay because I understand it's a process. Like, it's not easy to just up and leave what you have been taught, what you've only known. But I think it's also really brave for those who decide to branch out and to become more aware of why they believe what they believe, and to also be unafraid to step outside of that religious box. So I just wanted to come over here and share some of the things that I believe in and some things that I'm actually super passionate about. So I would like to start with the soul planning theory. When I heard about the soul planning theory, it really it resonated, meaning that I felt that, okay? I felt that. And I find it interesting because in religious terms, we say, oh, we don't want to go against the will of God, and God, let your will be done in this situation, in our relationships, in our life, in our purpose. And what I find to be interesting is with the pre-soul planning or the soul planning is, as a soul, we've existed through many lifetimes. So yes, I do believe in reincarnation. I believe that as a soul, we actually get to create what our plan is going to be before we reincarnate into this lifetime. And so, for example, for me, I know that I signed up to be a service to others, to help others. And I also believe that oftentimes we do reincarnate with our soul family. So literally, I just kind of think of it like balls of energy, like we're souls in this soul dimension, in this different dimension in which we exist in before we decide to jump into another human experience. So for example, I could have been my mom's sister in a past life. My father could have been my son, or my boyfriend. Maybe we were married in a past life, and there's still things that we need to work out in this lifetime. Like, I don't believe there's a set way that we reincarnate, is what I'm saying. And in this soul plan, we decide what is our life's purpose going to be in this life. What are some lessons that we are going to accomplish in this life to help elevate our spirit? And so oftentimes I feel that we really struggle to figure out, what is our purpose? Like, why did I come back to this earth? Why did I come back to this dimension? And I think that's a really great question. And for me, like I said, I know that I've signed up to be a service to others. How that actually happens, I think that is part of that process to uncover, to discover, how can I be of help. But one thing that has helped me during this journey is actually through astrology, okay? So with astrology, one thing that I found to be super helpful in understanding one's soul purpose in this lifetime is actually looking at your north node. So for me, my north node falls within Aquarius. My south node is in Leo. Leo and Aquarian energy is completely different. Leos, I don't think that they're like super, I think sometimes we can perceive Leos as being, oh, it's all about me. And they are about them, but they're still caring people. But I feel like it's more their opportunity to shine, to have the spotlight. And it's funny because my younger son, his north node is in Leo, which means his south node is in Aquarius. So it's like we are so much alike. He's also a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn as well, but we're so very different. So within Aquarian energy, a book that I did purchase that helped me to understand more about my soul purpose, things that I will have to overcome, things that I need to work through, is reading this book. It's called Astrology for the Soul. This is by Jan Spiller. And some of the things about Aquarius, and I feel that I strongly resonated with, was like the ability to see the total picture. Because when I look at a situation, I look at them from a higher perspective, and also just the desire for friendship, making decisions for the group's best interest, sharing unconventional ideas. And I see this appear so many times in my career where I just see things in advance and I'm like, hey guys, we need to pivot, or this is something that I just strongly feel that we need to implement. So I'm able to see that and to share those unconventional ideas. Sometimes they are receptive, other times they're not, and other times they just take a little bit longer to implement. So I've learned to just share what I know and what I feel, and just go from there. And then the big things with the Aquarian energy and North Node is it is a willingness to champion for humanitarian causes. And I feel that that completely resonates with me because I have a heart for people. And when I tell you, I just love to see people succeed. I want people to be their best self. I want them to do what makes them light up on the inside. And that doesn't mean that everything has to be happy all the time. You know, life has ebbs and flows. There's ups and there's downs. There's valleys and there's peaks. So just learning, you know, which season we're in and just continue to move forward in that. So that's something I definitely wanted to share. Astrology has been super helpful for me. I think oftentimes when we hear about astrology, we just reference our sun sign. But to get a little bit deeper in it, and I don't confess to be like this astrologer with all these years of knowledge and wisdom, but I have been doing a lot of research because I'm just a researcher and naturally. So one of the things is understanding your sun sign, right? My sun is in Capricorn. Understanding your moon. My moon is in Sagittarius. Understanding your rising. My rising is in Scorpio. And then there's 10 houses within an astrology chart or natal chart or birth chart. It's the same thing. It's your chart. And oftentimes, like, we joke like, oh, I wish, you know, God would have gave us a plan for our life. Like, I wish there was some type of blueprint. But there is so much information that I have learned through astrology, and that has taught me, like, I've learned so much about myself through astrology. So I'm not going to cast that down and call that to be demonic and witchcraft, because it's not. It is a tool if you understand it and if you use it properly. Oftentimes we make these assumptions on things and we call them to be evil because we don't understand them. And it's okay to say that I don't understand them. So I've embraced more astrology into understanding myself and also the people that are around me. I'm laughing internally because I'm like, hey, psst, psst, psst. What time were you born? Which city? Okay. Let me pull your chart real quick. And with that, understanding which energy that we are, what we're working in, and understanding the lunar cycles. Like here recently, I think yesterday we just had a full moon. I noticed I act differently when it comes to full moon versus a new moon. Around new moons, I just get super tired. I'm fatigued. I've learned. Okay, I would say I've always been sensitive to energies, but now I understand, you know, some of these cyclical energies and what I will experience, and also knowing where we are from an astrology standpoint and how that affects my signs, and especially within my moon sign. And when we talk about a moon sign, that is going to be, you know, how you express your emotions. How are you doing emotionally? So I do tend to lean more towards my Sagittarius sign when I'm trying to understand me, to go within. Okay, so I wanted to share that. And also, like I said, I do wholeheartedly believe in past lives. And I think this is super cool because when I started doing more of the work, and I even got an Akashic record reading. It was actually an Akashic record reading and also more of a healing session as well, healing things from my past life. And with that, let me stop to say what's the Akashic record, right? So the Akashic record, when you want to think of it, even in Christian term, the book of, the book of life or something like that. Like, I think of it as like literally a book of our soul journey. Everything in there, our soul journey. Through my Akashic record reading, I did uncover that, I have reincarnated in many different times. I'm not going to go into the specific number, but what I find to be interesting about that is in the majority of my past lives that I've worked in a healthcare capacity. And in this lifetime, I have touched on healthcare within the pharmaceutical industry, but also my career within human resources is in healthcare. So I thought that was really cool. Also understanding, past life trauma. And, sometimes when we think about in this lifetime, there are things that we need to work on. But I'm a person that wants to go to the root of the issue. So when we talking about going to the root of the issue, why did this happen? Oftentimes we look at our childhood, which is great. But sometimes I do feel that there is some residue from past life, different energies that we brought into this past life that has to be resolved. And for me, I'm just all the more understanding how important it is to heal ourselves, heal those traumas that we've experienced. And interesting enough, when we talk about like even that our body stores energy, that our body holds on to that. In church, when I attended, we talked about fasting. We'll always fast at the beginning of the year with some type of fast, or, maybe the pastor called us to go onto a fast. And interesting enough, what I found is people really didn't understand the concept of fasting. And what I've come to understand through now is I still fast. As a matter of fact, I'm fasting today. Is fasting does bring about more clarity. It definitely clears my mind. And even from like a just an energetic standpoint, that what we put in our body affects us. So instead of consuming processed foods, we're putting in, healthier foods, or doing water. What we're really doing is resetting our body, right? We are detoxing our body. And with that detox, that's helping to elevate our vibration. And for me, that allows to it puts you in alignment to attract things that are in that same vibration. So when I think about fasting, I think about it as shedding and creating new things from even like a cellular level. Is really just resetting that. So that's some those are practices that I still implement in my life today. And then also when we talk about prayer, I still pray. I pray, I meditate. Who do I pray to? Because I feel like that may be a question that some people may ask. I pray to God. I wholeheartedly believe that there is one God, that there is a God source. It makes no sense that people from different religions can pray and their prayers get answered. You can't say it's just because, oh, I'm in this religion. No, I honestly believe there is oneness. There's one God, that we are first spirit, that I am a spirit having an human experience. Okay. And so I pray to God. I pray to my angels. I pray to my spirit guide. I pray to my ancestors. And just a really cool story to share real quick. I'm gonna take some tea. Is I would say maybe a couple of months ago, I was having a really tough day. And I remember I was standing by my bed. I was standing by my bed and I went to pray, and I just felt led to put my hand over my heart. This is the heart chakra. And I just took a deep breath in, and it's like I started to speak, but energetically, like I felt an energy connect. I felt love literally kind of go through my body, and I felt my angel hug me. And I know it was my angel because my angel always hugs me from the back. So I literally felt someone behind me hugging me and embracing me. And in that moment, what I was dealing with, I kind of snapped out of that because I received such a loving energy healing, which it actually kind of goes into Reiki healing. And Reiki healing is, energy healing. So in church, we may hear this as of laying of the hands. And in this video, I'm not going to go into the correlations of where we lay hands and how that correlates to our chakra system. And our chakra systems are points of energies within our bodies. So that's something that I do also, practice, as well as being mindful of my chakras. Am I out of alignment? Okay. And then what else did I want to touch base on? But yeah, like I still pray. I still have that practice. And funny enough, I still, I'll still go through my Bible. I literally ask, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be like, God, my angels, my spirit guides, I ask that you would draw near to me, to come close to me, that here is something that I'm dealing with, and I ask that you would help me. Just this morning, I prayed, lead me to something that is going to help me, because our angels, our spirit guides, they're there to guide us. Our ancestors, which I'm not going to completely go into, but our ancestors, they are there with us to help us to progress in this life. And I'm so ever grateful for my spirit team. I'm so grateful for the people that have come into my life to help me on this journey, and for me to be able to help them as well. And so I'm grateful for that. And that brings me into my next point, is gratitude and faith. One thing that I hear consistently throughout different religions is faith. You have to have faith. And I still have faith. I believe in, for me personally, and I think this may just have to do with, my spiritual gifts, but it's important for me to sit in the morning in quietness, especially around the times about 3 o'clock in the morning. I love being up between like 3 and 4, 3 to 5, because that's when the veil is the thinnest, but that's also when I receive the most downloads, meaning I feel, I hear, I know better during that time. I have more clarity within my mind. So that allows me to sit with things that maybe I've been ruminating over, maybe some things I've just totally been obsessing over, and I just really just need that clarification. So I'll spend time by myself. As far as spiritual gifts, or we can say psychic abilities, one thing that I know is I'm extremely clear cognizant, meaning clear knowing. There are things that I have just known, and people are like, how the hell do you know that? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you how I know about this, because I just knew. And I'm the gift of foresight to see things before they're able to happen. Like, I just can meet a person, and I've always been judged to say, oh, you're very standoffish, but I really have to get a good feel for you, for your energy, in order for me to open up and to engage. So I just wanted to share that. Outside of that, I think I kind of touched base on everything. Soul planning, past lives. I have some really cool past life stories that maybe I will share with you all. I think it's really interesting, and especially, one of my more recent lives. Oh, and kind of touching back on it. So when we talk about like our North Node and South Node, so South Node, like I said, my South Node was in Leo, meaning in my past life, my energy that I was in Leo. So I've conquered that Leo energy. It's just that in this lifetime, I'm working more in my Aquarian energy, and I can constantly see that reflected through the efforts that I make, the things that I do, when I speak up at work, or even in my personal life, even as a friend. And so, again, I'm just grateful for all the tools and resources that we have been gifted to understand more about ourselves and more about our purpose. And again, I'm not a person that is, if you're a Christian, hey, that's cool, bro. Like, that's really cool. I'm not here to try to convince anyone to do anything that they don't resonate with. I wholeheartedly believe that you have to do what is best for you. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. So that's when it comes into understanding and accepting one another, because we're all different. And so with that being said, is I would like to post more videos. If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to put those in the comment sections. Anything that you would like for me to maybe clarify, or maybe something that you would like for me to talk about in the next video, just let me know. But I'm grateful for your support. I was not thinking that I would even get views in my previous video, because it just wasn't my goal. My goal was just to share my journey, because I know that there are other people on the same journey that are struggling with it, and that feel like their life is completely falling apart because they're realizing what they've been taught isn't all the way true. And so I just pray for those people. I pray that you would just find also forgiveness in your heart to say that, you know, maybe this is what my parents knew, this is what worked. Again, I am grateful for my background, because it has developed my character into who I am now. And just because I see things a little bit differently, that doesn't take away from who I am at a soul level, or for who I am as a person. And so again, thank you guys for checking out my video, and stay tuned for more. Bye.